Welcome back, everybody, to our podcast, Misadventures of Black Damsels, where we have authentic conversations about adulting, soft life, and everything that has to do with womanhood. These are your panelists. Again, I am Lerato, former Mbogoto, recovering addict of being a Barbara the Builder.
I am Bumi, Mrs. Whatever.
Okay. We here.
We out here. We wilding.
Hi guys, I am Azam. You want some reason?
Yet again, lies. And in today's episode, thank you so much for joining us. Again, we need to extend appreciation. In today's episode, we are talking about our experiences of being 30 years old. We all turned 30 this year. Well, except for you, though.
I'm an elder.
The elder.
I'm
the
an elder.
ancestor of the group.
Let's rephrase that. We're all 30 today.
Right now, as of right now, we are 30. All of us, we are 30 years old. We will be talking about our experiences, the thoughts or our ambitions that we had for being 30, what we wished we would have known, and what we would have told to our former selves, and what we know now. So yeah, being 30, here we are.
Yes. Yes.
When did you turn 30?
Last October.
February 14th.
I'm the youngest of the group. Can you guys see? I'm
30. You are 30.
I'm still young.
Full stop and finish.
Still young.
30 is 30.
I'm
That's
still
what
young.
you told me.
How do you feel about being 30?
Content. Yeah, I think content is where I am with my 30s. Especially last year, my walk or journey to 30 is how I know I am content.
How do you mean?
I think last year was the year where I had to pull myself towards myself, call myself out on my own bullshit, forgive myself on my own bullshit, and not take bullshit from other people.
You've done a lot of work.
Yes, like when I turned 30, I was content with the decision as I had made to that point, and I was very proud of myself. I was on don't care a damn mode, and I think I'm still wanting to maintain that and trying to maintain that. So content is where 30 has landed me, or where I landed with 30, vice versa. It's content, yeah.
What about you then?
I think 30 for me is unraveling and stepping to deeper truths and vulnerabilities, and also allowing myself the space of being human. That's exactly what it is. Also learning and wanting to be more teachable and extending that teachable spirit in everything I go into.
Yeah. I think this was my next question. Like, how, on the eve of your birthday, how did you feel before turning 30?
What was your
Still, I was very scared. I did not want to turn 30 because I kind of felt like 30 has always been this pinnacle age where you have to have your shit together. And me turning 30, my shit was not together. So I kind of felt undeserving of being 30 because the things that I had planned to achieve at 30, I hadn't done. So I still can't believe that I'm 30. I don't want to be 30. I don't feel like I deserve to be 30 years old.
What do you think would render you deserving?
Having achieved everything that I wanted to at 30. I feel like 30 is kind of like a badge of honor. You kind of need to earn it. It's not just the fact that you've been alive for 3 decades. You need to earn and be at a certain stage in your life where you can boldly say, I am 30 because I've done 1, 2, 3, and 4. And because I haven't done any of the things that I wanted to do at this age, I don't feel I deserve to be 30 years old.
Valid?
It's tough. It's really, really tough. I mean, for you, do you think that 30 is everything that you thought it would be?
I've never thought about 30.
You never planned your life around 30?
No, I've never idealized age. I can say, like, there's never, well, I think up until I had my daughter, that's probably the only time where I had a time frame of doing certain things, and because before then I was basing my timeline against my mother's timeline, like I must have my first child at 23, da 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 da. I tried to fit into that box, but even that wasn't like an intense type of thing that I wanted to do. So for me, when I did become 30 is when I recognized 30. Before I became 30, I didn't care for it. I didn't stress about it. Too many things were going on in life for me to worry about even that age. But when I did reach 30, my God, I think 27 and 30 were the birthdays where I was
slap you in the face.
No, I was happy. I was like, you know, when you're walking and you're like, God, thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow. Oh my gosh. Yes, yes, yes. Like, that's how I felt about my 30. And I guess that's why I cherish it so much. And I appreciate my 30 so much because I think I had just taken a lot for granted prior to that. And now I take in many things, many moments, many experiences, and not just things that I
take for granted.
Take for granted, yes. I take them in. I appreciate good, bad, in between. And 30 has allowed me to actually allow myself to be wrong and allow myself to say you're wrong. Allow myself to hear you're wrong and say, okay, I hear I'm wrong. So I
Whereas
can.
You couldn't do that in your 20s.
I could never do it. I was always very defensive. I was always like, no, you can't tell me that about myself. You don't know me. Da 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 da. And so I'm not afraid of the mirror. I can be uncomfortable. I can be awkward. I can be scared and anxious about the mirror, but I will definitely embrace it. And I don't take bullshit. I'm so proud. It's my superpower.
Yeah.
It's my superpower. Guys, nothing makes me feel like I am for myself than the bean. Oh my gosh. Like friends, family, boyfriends, anything that just does not align with even the slightest thing that I find very important, I have to.
I think you've always been like that.
I have to exit.
Discard it.
I have to. And I can love you truly and wholeheartedly, but I will still discard you because
you've always been
I've
like
got
that.
nothing to lose. I feel like even in as much as I've always been able to do that, I would still feel bad about it, and I would still try to work around that or
excuse it.
like try to sugarcoat it or even though
it,
even though I want to remove myself, I'll I'll still keep you at bay. But now I'm like, stay there
in the bin.
And I'm not sorry about it.
Yeah.
I am definitely sure about the decisions that I make in my 30s. And I'm not basing my 30s so much in terms of what I've acquired, what I've achieved, It's such an inner
who I am.
It's a me thing. Like, oh my gosh, I've come such a long way from the Mpumi that I was to the Mpumi that I am now, and the Mpumi that I'm working towards. And those are things that no one can take away from me. And so that's why 30 years, please and thank you. You're very welcome.
I like that. I mean, I definitely share the same sentiment where, like, attaching, like, achievements to age is concerned. I am very happy to say I never had that. I don't have it now. I don't care for it. I mean, if I can be a billionaire today, why not? But
you're welcome.
Come. You're very welcome. But to be very fair, I was very excited to be 30. I like to be old. Like, I like to be old. I've always liked to be older. Everybody who knows me probably knows all sorts of ages. Like, preparing people think I was telling people last night that I'm 35, y'all. I mean,
you were like, I'm my something. And people were like, bruh, you 30, relax.
No, and that's who I've always been. Like, I've always been this girl who's just always aspired for a bigger age. Like, it just always made me feel like, it deserves me so much respect. But I was really excited to be 30 and get into the 3 zeros and the 3 whatevers. Other things, and so for me, 30 was that like, I'm going to be justified.
Yes.
My flex is late. There's a number, 30. 30. 30.
3 0 decades.
And that was 30 for me. So I can't say, like, I had, like, things that I said, no, when 10:30 I want to have this, that, and the other. Yeah. I've never had that. But I did turn 30 and I felt great about it. Yeah.
Me, it's quite the opposite of you guys. Because I measure myself based on what I have acquired. Being the only child, and I have to kind of feel like I set goals at specific ages, and I say, at this age I should have achieved this, I should have had this, and I kind of feel like it's also like a black woman or black child thing, where you always want to be better than your parents when they were at a certain age. Because my mom, when she passed away, she was 34. And in hindsight, right now, because I'm 30, it's very young.
Yeah.
But then back then, she struggled for everything that she had. And like, I kind of feel like with all the opportunities that I've been afforded, I've always had to fight and see myself at a better position where she was. You know? So at the age of 30, when I was 20-something, early 20s, at 30, I was supposed to be married. I was supposed to have a nuclear family.
Yes, girl.
White fence. 2.5.
You're
2.5.
paying me.
Not knowing where the 0.5 was coming from. 2.5 kids.
You're paying me.
I was supposed to have a PhD.
Go.
A novel.
Speak, girl.
A TV show.
Speak, girl.
Where am I right now?
You're living.
Yes. Exactly.
And thriving. And beautiful.
Exactly.
And complete.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, yes, like,
Lerato.
dude.
No way. Like, don't even say those things anymore, because you are so complete.
Everything.
So enough. Like,
Perfect.
I'll show Dingisho Natwa. Bruh. Grace upon yourself.
Like, honestly, I remember I was dating this guy.
in my, the thing.
I was dating, and he was not the bean. He was the one who dumped me because I don't have values and morals.
Because you was the pin.
I was the bean. I was the bean. We were 23, and I said to him blatantly because I knew the trajectory of my life.
Okay.
Timetable,
schedule.
If you don't marry me, Nina, Neo shot, I'm not 25.
Ultimatum.
Whether it's you or it's somebody else, Neo shot.
If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it.
Nah, that's cool. That's fine.
But then,
Ain't
to
nothing
be
but a
honest,
chicken wing.
with being 30, and like I've always cried on my birthdays, I've told you guys. But then, for the first time in like 17 years, I didn't cry on my birthday. I didn't wake up with puppy eyes because I was like, you know what, girl, you are 30, and what does 30 mean for you? I went to the park, had a journal, and I was writing all the experiences that I've had in my 20s and like how I wanted everything to be different and how I wanted me to be different. Because as you also said, Uti, it's not just about what is happening materially around you. It's about what is inside. I had to get to a point where I realized that I need to change me, make me better for me, not for anybody else.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's where I am right now. To be honest, 30s are no different from being in your 20s.
They are.
It's just that your birth certificate says
like,
you are 30.
I can officially say, when I hear or see or experience or view the 20-year-olds, I'm like,
yeah. We know nothing.
But for them, obviously, because like, I know even with my niece, like half of the things that she's doing, I'm just like, ish.
Been there, done that.
Yes!
Not
And
your
like,
thoughts.
I can't say I'm warning you because like, no matter how much warnings I got, I still wanted to experience that. And all I can say, like I remember this other day, I told her, because her and my mom always cats and a dog, and and I was telling her, like, I'm just letting you know there'll be other boyfriends, there'll be other friends, there'll be other of many things. Yes, like, and many of these things but I know even when I was 20, I felt like I'm stuck in time. That was the time is now to party now. Now, and it's life or death, bruh. If I don't go to this party, I'm nobody, dude. You know? So I'm just like, the experiences and the life and the time that I've received taught me those things, and that's all she needs as well. But definitely, I also like that to say, so cool.
But then, like, with that being said, what do you wish you had known before that you know now?
Oh my gosh. It's money.
What about money?
Save money.
Yeah.
Don't spend money on the boys.
They're not ready.
Like, if I knew as much as I know now about finances, I think I would be more comfortable than I am now, because, money loves me. Where it's residing, where it's me. But I definitely think the money part is something that I wish I could have just respect money much more when I was 20. But the experiences that I made, the choices that I made in terms of anything outside of money, yes, please, and thank you, because it was nice, yo. It was nice.
But then you've always been wild. What about you?
I think for me, it's. I wish I knew never to dim my light. Never to shut my voice. And never to stop my dreams from being whatever they are, and also pursuing them. I think that's what happened in my 20s. Like I came from my teens with big ideas and big dreams and just like this burst of energy, and became very safe. Okay. And I do wish a greater part of me was more risk. I mean, I'm grateful that I was very careful. I'm very careful, driven person. But I definitely do wish I was more trusting of myself in spaces that allowed me to express myself in great ways. And especially my voice. I wish I trusted my voice enough and my thoughts. Because unfortunately, like, I'm in my 30s and I know this as a lesson, and I know how it kind of like screwed up maybe my personality in my 20s. But it's also work I am doing now in my 30s to recover from. And because I've lived in that space of fear and security and dimming my light, I've become too comfortable with it. And I've allowed myself to not want to move from it. So it's a harder work to come from. But I mean, I'm glad that now in my 30s, I recognize it, and I am starting to do the vigorous work of stepping into my light and allowing myself to shine.
Right. Right. And you?
For me, being a perpetual people pleaser, I kind of feel like I was groomed from a young age to be a people pleaser. And like looking at the environment in which I grew up, not wanting to make mistakes, always wanting to be perfect, so that you don't get screamed at, you don't get beaten, you don't get shouted at, you don't get the priest coming at your house calling a family meeting because you did not do what you were supposed to do. For me, it's learning to own the space of validating myself and not seeking external validation from other people, because my 20s were a space where I had to apologize so much for being myself. And it kind of came also in my late 20s where I was like, you know what, this is me. You take me as I am. If you don't want me, in the bin. It's fine. We move. So now I'm kind of owning it.
Yeah.
But then also it's very hard to navigate as well, because as much as I'm 30 now, I know that this is me. Take it or leave it. This is how I come.
Yeah.
But then you do, or rather I do find myself in spaces where I have to kind of negotiate and kind of squeeze myself into spaces where I don't belong. But then also at the same time, I still have that switch at the back of my head that says, girl,
get up.
Get your life.
Get up.
Stop playing yourself.
Get up.
So for me, it's me stopping, or like me getting out of my own way. I feel like that was very important for me, because I've been a self-sabotager for so long. For so long. Where I was very dishonest with myself. I was self-deceiving.
Girl.
So I had to come to a point where I would look at myself in the mirror and say, girl, you lying.
Mirror.
I'm talking.
Okay, next.
In the mirror.
What's meaning
So-
when the left eye is twitching?
My eye was twitching. Is it twitching on top or under?
I don't know.
Yeah.
My eye is twitching.
Which
Where?
part?
On top or underneath?
Here.
On
The
top.
sheep on top.
You're gonna see someone that you haven't seen in a while.
They said left is enemies.
You see? You
But
see?
I don't have.
You see? You see?
I'm just.
You see?
Anyway,
She's not well versed with the myths and superstitions of African people. What a shame.
You guys are hella random, please.
sorry.
I hope your 30s have weaned you from these superstitions.
Me, I will. It's my even at 90, my eye will be jumping, and I'll say, I'm going to cry if it's jumping underneath, or I'm going to see someone I haven't seen in a long time if it's jumping on top. Now you guys know. But
the education. That
what I want us to get into is, I've talked about where I thought I would be in my 30s.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, it
versus where you are now.
Well, going back again to saying like I've never based age with that.
Yeah.
But where I was versus where I am now, in terms of things that I've acquired, I can say, I mean, I'm affording my child like a very comfortable life. Affording myself a very comfortable life, my family a very comfortable life. But like we've been comfortable even before. So I think I'm maintaining, as far as that's concerned, I'm still like maintaining, if not doing better. From, when I was younger to now. And I think I definitely agree with the people pleaser vibes, because one thing that my closest friends have always had a problem with me is that I bring a lot of other friends, and I have a lot of other friends.
She likes stray dogs.
Don't call my people stray dogs. Like, these are my actual friends, not stray dogs. Please respect.
Yeah, you had a lot of friends.
Yes, and so I think in my 30s, I've been able to filter through and compartmentalize. Like, I've not burnt bridges, but I've managed to say, I don't have to like always invest every time. Like, there's people that I know, like whenever they need me, I'm there. But there's people that I know, like, it's a hi, hey, it's been good, we hang out, whatever, and it stays there. And I've got really, really strong foundations with people that I don't have to constantly do something or say something to continuously cultivate those relationships. I feel like I've gotten to a point where I must be comfortable with not talking to all my friends all the time, every day, months, for months. But like, when we do talk, the conversation is quite, fruitful. And it's enjoyed. We're catching up, we're happy. And then when the conversation is finished, it's finished. Because I felt like I must always be the one to maintain the friendship. I've always been the one to host at my house. Whichever house I've lived in, I'm the one, come to my house, guys.
Yes.
And like, even now, I'm that girl, but like, I feel like at a much less hectic level.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. I'm not trying to host because I'm saying, like me, I'm the host of the most, but I'm hosting because I want to hang out with my people, and that's it.
The hostess with the mostest.
So yeah, I think being able to let go of friendships that needed to be let go of, and compartmentalizing like where to prioritize my time and my efforts in terms of my friendships. And guys, with family. Yay, thank you, 30.
In the bin.
I love my 30 because where I am now, I'm just like, yes, it's family. I love you. I love you. But
Prakata gone. There.
Like me, I'm here,
yes.
you are here. And when we come together, yippee, we are back to because I know, like, personally, like, family has always just been like a chakata, prakata, tug of war, papupa. And 30 has allowed me to say, hey, stop it. Stop it. Leave that thing.
Lost
Dieting, you know. So yeah, I'm happy. In fact, guys, I must just say 30 just it's nice. Oh.
It's peaceful.
It's peaceful, it's content. It's like I've filtered so much bullshit and trash out of my spirits, my energy, my life, that whatever I'm facing right now or dealing with right now, it's in and around people that I'm very safe with.
Yeah.
That I'm not thinking about checking my back. Hey, can I tell? Can I ask? Can I, you know? And 30 has allowed me to create that for myself and be that person for the people that matter the most to me, as opposed to like just availing myself for anybody and everybody and then having people's drama on my shoulders that don't have no business, you know, being there in the first place. So, yeah. Thank you. You're welcome.
So where I thought I'd be, and I think it's the work of my early 20s when I started dimming my voice. Like, I just did not see myself in a space of like just living comfortably, like doing my life myself, you know. Like my 20s really fucked with my mental. I just doubted myself in so many ways. And I think like that's when I really started operating from a place of anxiety. So everything was very watchful. I was so careful about every single thing. Guys, I was careful. I was the most careful kid. I remember me saying, you know, Azam is the luckiest because she gets to learn from our mistakes. That was wild because like we're friends, we do everything together. But like I literally was the kid who was always like 10 steps behind. Because that shit fucked with my mental. And it just really made me dim myself. Like even like my dreams were just, I didn't want to dream. I didn't want to see myself. I didn't have that image. And so when I like got into my mid to late 20s, you know, and I started rebuilding this voice, I started to understand that, you know, I actually am a whole human. And like all of these things are okay for me. Like they suit me. I'm allowed to want this and to dream about this. And I think like being 30 has also been the forceful space of constantly reminding myself of those things that I know I deserve.
Yeah.
I can, I have, I am. And I think that's where I am now. So I think the bulk of it is what I thought I'd be because of like my limited space, mental space, and my fear. I've definitely surpassed that space because I started allowing myself to see myself in greater ways and allowed myself to do better things. And so yeah, I think my 30s have surpassed my then expectations. I'm very grateful for that, especially the fact that like I look at myself and I just think I am the bomb diggity.
Sprinkle, sprinkle, shine, shine. Shine yourself.
Thank you, Mama.
Yes, of course. You're welcome. But wait, guys, can I ask, like, in your 30s, like, versus before 30, do you feel like opinions matter?
No.
A bit. Do you feel like anyone's opinion, your friends, your family, colleagues, anyone's opinion?
A bit. Well, because for me, I've done the work on myself. And that's what I wanted to say after Zam, that working on yourself is something that you didn't think would be important in your 20s. We grow up and we are teenagers, and then boom, you're in your 20s and life is just like and suddenly now you have to deal with your own self. You have to look yourself in the mirror again, and you have to come face to face with yourself and realize that there are certain toxic traits that you might carry that you probably didn't even know. And then being now in your 30s or being in your late 20s, you have to work on these things to change yourself. But then still, for me, I know who Lerato is today.
Yeah.
I know I am blunt.
Mm-hmm.
I know I am bossy. I know I might be considered as disrespectful to other people who don't take the time to understand me. But then also at the same time, I do have insecurities. I do have things that I haven't fully accepted about myself, or things that I haven't worked on. Because we are a work in progress.
Definitely.
30 doesn't mean that you've worked yourself to a point of perfection. You are building yourself up, right? So that's why I do still feel like opinions do still hurt in a sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then not as they would before.
Yeah.
Because before I didn't know who I was. Now they hurt in a sense that, so you noticed. But then I also know this about myself.
Okay.
And I'm comfortable about this in myself. And it's fine, acknowledge your opinion, but then now it allows me leeway to say, am I going to correct this? Or is it a boundary that I've set up to say, no, I'm not going to, I'm not going to take your opinion to heart. Yeah, so for me, it depends. It depends.
They don't matter to me. I mean, not that like they don't affect me in like the immediate way when they bounce off of. You see that, mommy? And I'm very responsive, very reactive.
Yeah.
And I fight. Yeah. But like I never take things personally. I mean, I am reactive. That's the only downside, is that I'm reactive, and that can make people think I'm hurt. But I'm not. Most of the time, I'm not. Probably like a manipulation tactic.
It's what we were talking about earlier today.
I'm gonna be honest. Like it's usually a manipulation tactic to make the other person also like immediately feel bad. But genuinely, for me, I don't think like it's something. She said ABCD about me. Like, no. I'm just like now plotting how I can make you feel exactly the way you hoped I would feel.
Yeah, back to standard.
Yeah, because like I'm a fighter like that. But like, as for me, it won't alter who I am.
You're not going to go back and be like,
Yeah, no, I don't cry over things like that.
I think for me, that's something that I'm still working on. It's fading. Definitely it's fading away, because there's so many things that, it's like you said, like when you were 20, you stopped yourself from, doing things or trying things or risking or whatever. And I'm at a point where I'm like wanting to push myself to just not be my own barrier to things, based on what people will think, based on the image that people have had of me prior to the me that I know, like you said now. So I'm in that transitioning phase where I don't want it to matter what the next person is saying. And so when I do experience opinions or things that I feel are hostile about me or towards me, I have to, definitely I won't react. I will go back and I will sit down and I'm like, how? Who and who said this? And I'll tell my friends, hey guys, so this and this happened. Am I wrong to think this about the situation? Or, and I feel like having those conversations is where I get the validation that I need to be like, I'm not the problem. Move on.
Though you reach that part very quickly.
Yeah.
Like you always, in fact, like I think you don't even think about people's opinions like that. I think you have to give yourself credit, right?
Well, I think now that you're saying it, but like before, I would just be like, ha, 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 ha. And so I'm trying to get out of that shell right now to just be like, you know how I'm always saying, like, just do. I don't want to think about things too much. I just want to say what I want to say, do what I want to do. Whatever happens, that's your problem or that's your perception. I really want to put this out. Mm-hmm. Specifically, anyway, no, continue.
Fix that.
What you were saying, it kind of reminds me of a very close relationship that I had with my family member that you hate so much.
A family member?
Like, really? Please respect yourself.
But then for me, because I take relationships very seriously.
Yeah.
And this person was my end all be all. I wouldn't have imagined my life without her in my life. She was my everything. And it got to a point where she did not like who I was. She even said that I don't like how you express yourself. And in my head, I was like, if you don't like how I express myself, essentially, it means you don't like me. And this is who I am. Someone that I didn't think I could live without. And today, we are going on 2 years not talking. And you come to a space where it's okay. I don't know, is it a 30's thing? But then it's a growth thing. Where you learn to live without the people, the things that you thought you couldn't live without. And you know that it's okay. We couldn't gel. It wasn't working as much as we were friends or we were family from, we grew up together. We've done so many things together. But then now we are completely different people. You need to allow relationships to transcend and allow growth in the life or in your life.
Please, yes.
Because we are all growing in different, we like a tree, we're growing in different directions. Branches are growing in different directions. And chances are some people will not like who you become, but then it's still okay to say, I am still whole, I'm still complete.
Oh my gosh,
without this person in my life. I'm not falling apart.
You're so much better without her in your life.
It's because you hate her.
Also because she's saying she doesn't like how you express yourself. Nobody likes you. Nobody. We don't even. You don't even go here. Oh my gosh, the bin. I don't even want to say half the things I want to say about that person. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But you know what you're saying is something that you and I have experienced a lot of this just this past year alone, where we've had to let go of people in our lives and for various reasons. And I remember being asked about this one particular friend that I used to hang out with a lot, and now her visibility is no more in my space. And it's like, where's who and who? No, I don't know. How aren't you guys friends and stuff like that? And I'm like, yeah, we were friends, but this is what I said. And I was so glad, because before I would have just been like, how you know, how she did, right? You know, just fuel drama. But I said, no, it was great. She's good people. We had fun, but it was just a short chapter for me. And after I sent that message, I was like, it was done. I was like, because like, really, we did enjoy our time together with this girl. So like, I can't fault whatever happened or however I had to distance myself, whatever reason I had to distance myself, because it still doesn't take away from the experiences that we shared together.
And she did what she came to do in her life.
And she really did. Yeah. And she really taught me a lesson where I was fermenting more of who I am because of the experience that I had and the reasons why I had to remove myself from like the space, the energy. Yeah. And I was like, it was a short chapter. It's not something that's supposed to happen and be like,
it's not the book.
Season 1, season 2,
it's not
season
the book.
3. Bold and beautiful. Every day. So no, it's just start and finish, and it did what it did, and that's it.
That's it.
And even today, I experienced the same question about the same girl, and I was like, when I was asked, aren't you guys friends anymore? I said, we are not friends anymore. Before, I would have been like, we're still cool, right? And I'm like, but we really aren't friends anymore. And that's the fact. And it's not a malicious fact. It's not a dramatic fact. It's simply a fact and a statement. And so your experience is exactly what I'm trying to relay in that, like, it doesn't have to be like
a forever tether.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like like I can still see this person, greet, talk, catch up, whatever we need to do, and stay in my lane, she stays in her lane. And that is the growth.
That is the growth. That was very beautiful.
That's the growth of it all, guys. Yeah. And definitely not in my 20s. Never be me in my 20s. I would be saying, that's funny. You remember?
Yeah.
You.
Me. With the grudges also.
You know me.
You
know me. Yeah. And I still have my grudges, guys. I still really do have my grudges. But my grudges are much more elevated now. Because, like, I don't hold it against you, what you did to me. I just appreciate the fact that I'm able to see things that I cannot help you with, that I don't appreciate from you. And it's nothing to do about me hating you or whatever. It's like, she's just not aligned with what I need from a friend. And someone else would very much appreciate her as a friend. But it's not working out for me. That's fine. No problem. No drama. But her actions were not malicious towards me. They were just her being herself. And her being herself, me being myself, is not coming together.
So we need to take our good way.
Yeah.
I mean, with that being said, having lived, I almost said 10 decades, but then a decade in your 20s. And I was stalking your cousin's nephew. She's your nephew, right? Wuntle.
My child.
I was stalking her in Wuntle, Neko stalk, so you know. I was stalking her Instagram page and where she was posting when she turned 21, and she had a quote or a caption saying that your 20s are where you mess things up. It's your decade to just fuck shit up.
Make a mess.
What are your regrets?
20s regrets? I mean, I'll just go back to the same. Like, I'm a safe, and I'm so grateful to God for this. I was a safe child, and my biggest regret is that I played it too safe.
The boys. The boys. Me with the box. My gosh.
Which bit though?
Like,
Cause you were fucking shit up.
Bruh.
The boys regret you. Cause you done fuck shit up.
bruh.
At some point,
They called me, Basi called me a serial dater.
you are. You are.
Please don't bring up cheese tits. My words, whoa.
She was nicknamed Cheese Tits.
So, like, I flashed my boobs before.
Bruh, you've lived.
She has.
She's lived like a white girl. You've done white
Which
people
is
things.
so crazy because I'm staying home and these two are going out tonight. Like, I'm the homebody now. But
We're catching up. We were
you
saying
guys
We want to
you guys,
flash.
like, to stay home, granny. Like, Azam just, like, also Azam, no, not even church. Azam liked discourse at the time. She liked, like,
political.
yeah, but
things.
so
Fundamental.
yeah, pedagogy. So I was like the party guide. Hey, anyway,
Geek guide.
but I regret the boys. That one that had my credit card and my car.
And your car.
That one.
Sana Mabish.
That's one. I regret him. And who else?
we regret him, Sam.
I regret him. And I regret Santa Claus. Not while we were dating, but after the cheating. I regret that I definitely knew I was not supposed to stay. I don't know what business I had going back to a mess. Just a mess. And that mess messed. It messed. But also that mess is how I got to where I am today, where I will not take nothing.
Yeah.
Like, if it's 1% less than what I expect, I'm not taking it. There's no compromise, there's no negotiation as far as my to-do list when it comes to men. So, okay. But those two I regret. I regret allowing myself to just crumble. Oh my gosh. No ways. But that's my regrets. Those men's beans.
What do you regret, Lee?
I regret the financial decisions I made in my 20s. That kind of got me to a point. If I go back to South Africa, at the airport, they're going to arrest me.
Nothing like that is happening.
Drama.
Let's just get back to
Drama.
Bruh.
Yo,
Interesting.
they're going to be
Miss Figland, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be held against you.
Like this, these are the consequences
They'll
of
be
living there.
reading my Miranda rights. Do we have Miranda rights in South Africa?
Move on from that, please.
Like, you're even putting it out there with your mouth. So stressful. I regret the desperation I had in my 20s. Because financially, I would have done, and I did anything for love, anything for money. Okay, I didn't sell my body in case. I didn't sell my body.
That's also fine. Also, though.
It is.
That's also fine.
Like, we're not about to shame that because
We're not.
money.
Keep your hustle, girl.
Darling, yes.
Yes. So that's. I regret having children at a young age where I did not know myself enough to be able to provide an environment for the kids a thriving and conducive environment for the kids to grow. Because I was a parent from the age of 20. I was never able to live my life when my friends would be saying, yo, mngani asiye panyaza.
Panyaza, guys.
I'd be like, yo,
My guys,
I'm not baby fever. my aunt said she can't stay with the kids.
You were also not a party girl, even before.
I wanted to be, though. I played myself.
Like, you had the
in
option.
My
when you stopped having the option, you felt it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I played myself in my 20s where I lost my youth. That's my biggest regret. So, losing my youth, and I'm not saying that having kids is you selling your youth. No, kids are beautiful. It's a scam. Don't buy into it. It's a pyramid scheme. But
come to me.
They are beautiful, but then they take away so much of you that I did not even know that I had in my 20s. I had to give my or pour out from an empty cup.
Oh, Mgani. Oh,
so that was me in my 20s.
Oh, Lord.
So that's why when I came to China, it was kind of like a breathe. I could breathe
and find yourself.
Yes, and learn myself, who I am. Finances, dating, scrubs, doing shady shit for money. Yo, guys, that's my biggest regret. Because I feel like I could have been so far ahead from where I am right now had I not done those life-damaging things that I did in my 20s. But then here we are. We know better. We've grown. It is what it is.
And
we live and we learn. And I think that's the gift of 30, you know, like being in a space where you recognize the lesson. Yeah, and we're open to the lesson.
Being open to the lesson.
Yeah,
I agree. Okay.
Viewers, damsels,
damsels,
princesses, our lovely viewers, thank you so much for tuning in. Catch us on our social media pages. Now we are on Spotify,
labels,
Amazon Music, Apple,
YouTube.
Google Podcast, YouTube. We are on all of these podcasts. Wherever you find your podcast, please stream us, follow, subscribe,
interact.
Please, it does so much for us. We would really appreciate it.
And we love you so much, damsels.
So from us, follow us on Misadventures of Black Damsels on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere where you stream your podcast.
Yes, just search us there.
And on Instagram, we are at mbdamsels. Thank you. Like, share,
and subscribe.
and subscribe. Thank you.
It was lovely, damsels.
Bye.